When I say a mess, these housewives are a mess, but I love it. I love everything about it. And here's why. First of all, it's extremely relatable. If you've been a part of any kind of friendship circle, friendship group, or have had different women around you and have been around different kind of women, which I'm sure at this point we all have, then you'll know it's extremely relatable. Number one, I love the fact that the women are not a monolith. They're showing us all different kind of black women. Wendy, the African educated married black woman. Giselle, the AKA the queen of the girls, if you will, with her children, the single one, the older one. You got Ashley, the miserable, the newly divorced one. You have Stacy, the quirky, like funny, cutesy, witty one. You got Tia, the poised British one. And I adore Tia's family also. You have Angel, the newbie who's fresh out of water trying to get to know everyone. The sensitive soul is what I would call her. You have Kiana, the Barbie doll. I think she's extremely beautiful. Feisty one, a little ratchet. She a little ratchet with it. And you have Monique, who I see as like this sunflower, very opinionated, beautiful, strong woman. And is that all of the girls? The last episode for me was like, oh my God. I gotta talk about Mean Girls. I gotta talk about group settings. I gotta talk about friendship groups and single friends versus the women that are in relationships and that dynamic. And it triggered me and also inspired me to do this video. Angel brought the girls to Colorado, right? So that's where we're at. We're at them being in Colorado, her inviting them over to her home and all of the things. For starters, I want to talk about Angel. There has been a lot of discourse regarding her. There are people who do not like her, who don't feel like she's a good fit for the show. And two things could be true at once. That's how I feel about Angel. I personally like her. I watched her interview on Angela Yee's Way Up. She talked about how her and her husband talked a lot about like business, their Wonderland business. They had business meetings together and stuff like that. And production did not show those things. And that just made me think like, okay, production may have thought that those business meetings were boring or whatever, but it's like, dang, that says a lot about audiences. The audience specific for Real Housewives of Potomac are mostly black women, right? And so it's like, what does that say about us that they think that all we want is like cattiness versus hearing a husband and a wife discuss their business? I like to see Angel as like a sensitive being, and then also someone who, you all are absolutely right when you say she's not quick-witted. She doesn't necessarily know how to defend herself in the moment. She has to go back and think it out. But I'm thinking like, isn't that a little bit more relatable than being like just cruel, evil, and mean all of the time and being miserable? No? It's almost given that people want her to be miserable and to be like jumping on these women and kind of go low with them. And I get it. That's the name of the game. That's what the show is about. But why is it normalized for black women to attack one another? Why is that the norm? And I'm even questioning myself because I find this to be entertaining for several different reasons. But one of the things I do find entertaining sometimes is like the shit talking or the reads, you know, like a good read. Like Candace Dillard could read down. I think she's one of the best. And she's so quick with it, and I admire that. But it's like, why use that talent, that quick-wittedness to tear another woman down? If you think that that's lame, that I'm commenting on that, then you are a part of the problem. That catfish scene for me was not funny at all. It wasn't funny because I know as a woman, and just track with me, it reminded me of when K. Michelle snapped on Angela Yee. Do y'all remember Mano or somebody was on the Breakfast Club and they was talking about that K. Michelle's box had a funny smell. And Angela Yee was cracking up, laughing. Her, Charlamagne and Envy, she was cracking up. When K. Michelle came on the show, she addressed her head on and was just kind of like, what you pulled one cord. Now, two things could be true at once. One of my feelings is that I didn't like the fact that she didn't address the men too, K. Michelle. But I also understand why she was more sensitive with the fact that Angela Yee laughed at her versus either defending her or not saying anything at all. Well, and you might ask, well, Tati, why? Why? As women, we know when it comes to the smell of your box, we are very sensitive about that. In the presence of men, laughing at a woman while these men are gossiping about her stench, I think that's corny. I think that's whack. That to me is lame, right? Because it's like, as a woman, where's your integrity? As a woman, where's your being a girl's girl sisterhood? That's an issue. Bringing it back to Real Housewives of Potomac, the whole catfish situation, I was like, okay, wow, that's taking it to a whole nother level. As far as just meanness and rudeness, I love Nene Leakes down. And I could not imagine her doing that to anybody. And you might say, well, Giselle can do that because she's beautiful. And I do feel like a lot of people overlook Giselle's actions because of pretty privilege. She's beautiful. She has Eurocentric features. And a lot of times we hold that on a pedestal in the Black community. You know, closer to white is typically right. Like, dang, you got green eyes and you a Black woman. You got, you know, blue eyes as a Black woman. We love that. And I'm not mad at it. That is a beautiful thing. At the same time, though, that does not make anyone an exception as it pertains to like doing right by the next person, treating people right. The golden rule, if you will. So yeah, I hated that scene. And I'm like, I related to Angel. I'm coming into this dinner, and she said this on her way up interview with Angela Yee. If you haven't seen it, I suggest that you like look into it. It's a really good interview and you get to know her a little bit better. And she was not prepared for that. She knew that they was probably going to be shit talking. She knew that they were probably going to be throwing shade, like light shade. She didn't know that she was coming into a situation to be attacked. I have an anecdote of my own. I put together a birthday dinner for a friend. I was really, really excited about this dinner. I was excited to like dress up. I was living at my grandma's house at the time. I would never forget. And the reason why that is important is because that was one of the lowest points in my life financially. I didn't have that much money. And so I was excited when it came to like being able to go out and do something, put the birthday dinner together, invited her sister's friend, my sister, and like a couple other girls. And I remember getting this jumpsuit from Revolve. I was very excited about wearing the jumpsuit, very pretty jumpsuit. And I remember putting on the invitation, like, for the girls to dress up. Like, I didn't, do anything shady, like, oh, I'm gonna dress down, y'all. No, I put on there, like, dress up. It's a nice place, Maple and Ash. It's a high-end restaurant in Chicago. And this was before it became, like, extremely popular. It was exclusive, Anyway, I remember approaching the table. First, when I got there was, like, a little bit of standoffishness, and my friend hadn't got there yet. It was her sister and her sister's friend. They were a little standoffish, but it's like, okay, whatever. Come into the spot, the sister says, is it your birthday or her birthday? Her as in my friend. As if I wasn't supposed to dress up or I was trying to take away the shine or whatever the case it was. It's not up for me to decide where that comment came from. It was brought to my attention that like, oh, that was her way of complimenting you. That's not a compliment. Is it your birthday or her birthday? First of all, that's comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy, number one. Number two, a compliment is a compliment. Damn, you put that shit, oh, you look good. That's a compliment. So it's like, don't gaslight me. Don't play in my face. You're not complimenting me. You're being nasty for whatever reason. Whatever you got going on is the reason for that. The way that I'm set up is, as women, we dress up, we look good, we go out together, we compliment one another. Girl, you looking good. Oh, I like that. Oh, where you get that from? Whatever the case may be. You don't have to say it exactly the way that I would, but we all know the difference between a compliment and an insult, a compliment and a slight. And I hate that we do this. Oh, you being too sensitive stuff. I'm not being too sensitive. I'm doubling down on my boundaries. I'm also doubling down on the fact that I wouldn't do that to you. So it's like, treat me the way you want to be treated and treat me and respect me the way that I've treated and respected you. The girl can't say that I've ever done or said anything to her that was nasty or crazy. So it's like, what was the reason for that? And then when I feel offended by it, and I address it eventually, I'm being too sensitive or whatever. No. Don't let nobody play in your face. Don't let nobody gaslight you. And I won't say names or anything like that because that is not my place. But it is my place to share my story. And it's also my place for if there are younger girls watching this, I want you to not look like a deer in the headlights when someone come at you with some mess. Don't be like Angel. Don't be like me. Address it head on. And also don't take it personally. That is what I love about Stacey. Her ability to like laugh shit off. Her ability to like laugh at herself. I admire her so much because I am more sensitive and tender, and I wasn't taught how to do that. And I wish that I knew how to do that. And even at this big age of 34 years old, I'm learning from Stacey how to like, oh, when it was like, oh, Stacey, your breath stink. And she was like, oh, okay, I'll take more gum. Me, I probably would have been like, what you mean my breath stink? I would have been mad, or I would have like internalized it, processed it like Angel, and came back a week later on some bullshit. And then I'm looking crazy because it's like, girl, that was last week. That's old news. You're holding on to stuff. Now you look like the crazy one, as opposed to laughing it off and being able to laugh at yourself like a Stacey, you know? So, and there's a fine line because I feel like you shouldn't have to laugh off everything. At the same time, you shouldn't hold on to everything. So I do understand that like when you are a sensitive person, sometimes we tend to hold on to stuff, and it's like sometimes you got to let that shit go, you know? At the same time though, don't let nobody play in your face. I'm not saying fight. I ain't saying be on bully energy. When I tell you I was so dumbfounded, I was like, dumbfounded but offended like a mother. My insides were fuming. And number one, I was embarrassed because there were other people there. Number two, I was younger than I am now, so I didn't have like the quick wit on some Angel type stuff. Like I didn't know how to defend myself. And number three, I was like, dang, I did not expect to come into this and have to battle and be at war. Somebody might say, that's you, girl, you being sensitive, battle and be at war. But that's because my mindset wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared to have to like read her and be like, well, girl, you just hating because I look good or whatever. I don't know what I would have said if I was prepared for it. But it hurt my feelings. And that situation impacted me and my friend's relationship because after that, I started tweaking on some Angel type where it's like, well, girl, where does energy come from or whatever? And the girls who weren't there yet probably didn't know, and I didn't have the tools to express myself properly. My thing is thank you so much for tuning into this video. I need you to like, comment, and subscribe so that we can continue to vibe out together, okay? Thank you so much. Safe spaces are important. I didn't have the terminology to say that then, but now I know the reason why I tweaked out was because I thought I was in a safe space. Now, it's one thing for if this was a stranger. Mind you, I've known her and her sister for a long time. If this was a stranger, it would have been like, oh, okay, whatever. It wouldn't have impacted me that much. It impacted me because I was like, damn, I'm doing something nice. Mind you, you didn't put this together for your sister. You didn't help me do anything. I'm the one that did this on account of her. And when she came, she looked beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. She is gorgeous. So it's like, what was the point of number one, comparing us? Number two, why did you have to try to like front me out? I don't even know the words for this ratchet, because to me, this is just all ratchet. But what, like, you know how Angel was like, home girl? That's me, because I don't even know how to talk to you else, because y'all is weird to me, based off of how y'all act and the energy that you dish out. Saying that to say, the catfish stuff really got to me, and I hate the fact that Angel, in my opinion, is extremely misunderstood by certain folks. And I think a lot of those folks are the folks that are either used to people being mean to them, they're mean to people, or cattiness is like they live off that shit. And they think peace and love and butterflies is corny. I'm not one of them folks. I believe in peace. I believe in love. I believe in unity. And for me, if that is corny or lame, so be it. Now we got them in Colorado. Angel, I understand the sentiment behind when she invited them to Colorado, having them in a separate house from her, and that house being like an hour away from her house, and her not wanting them at her house, and just that whole thing. I get why the girls will feel away, but at the same time, I'm like, let's be fucking for real. Why would I have women in my house who do not like me, Why would I have women around me that have been talking all of this about me, and now y'all expect to be invited into my house, into my safe place? Y'all already are not a safe place, but now you want to come into my safe place. That is so weird to me. And it's so weird to me that people ridiculed her for not wanting phony women in her home. This is very odd behavior. I remember a time where I threw an event, and for one, like when I spent time with half of the group, everything was cool. Another half of the group were like my close friends, and so I wanted to bring them together. When I brought them together, when I say to hit the fan, I was so uncomfortable in my own home. One of the girls, so 3 of the girls were like in my kitchen area, and they like snickering and laughing and giggling and stuff, and I'm feeling a little bit odd. First of all, they got here like 2 hours late. But it's like, okay, cool, do your thing. And then one of them was bullying one of my friends, and I was like, okay, this is weird. Then in another token, they were like talking shit about me in my own home or making jokes. So like, I'm very attentive to my man, just like Angel. My man is attentive to me as well, okay? And they found that to be funny. So I could like hear little side talks and stuff like that. I did not address the situation head on because I didn't know how, I wasn't expecting to feel that way in my home. So I was just kind of like soaking it in. And I knew in that moment, never again. I'm never having all of these people in my home. Maybe a select few, the ones who weren't on that type of timing, but I'm never having these group of girls together in my home again. And then a conversation came up, a very personal conversation. And there was this like subliminal messaging type style convo happening on the side in the kitchen. We all tried to come together, and they used that as an opportunity to bring up subliminal messages about me and my relationship and comparing it to other women and their relationships and this and that. It was just a very weird situation. And I'm looking like, oh, wow. Like at first I didn't quite know what was happening, but then I'm like, oh, this is what's happening. Once again, like Angel, I wasn't prepared to defend myself. I was like a deer in headlights. And it was more so like, okay, I'm gonna make mental notes about this. And fast forward, that situation turned into other situations where there was like attacks on my character or a questioning of me and all kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm about to address this head on. Because first of all, this is becoming extremely distasteful and disrespectful, and it's giving bullying, okay? One of them made a comment about like, yo, I ain't gonna even get into all of that. I ain't gonna even get into all of it, but what I will say, and mind you, I'm not a victim, nor am I 100% innocent. I'm sure that there were things that I may have done to them at one point or another. But the point that I'm making is that it was very much given Giselle. How when Giselle came to the Colorado home and she seen Angel and Bobby's house, it was like, oh, no compliment. You know what I mean? Angel's like, oh, I made this drink for you. And she like, oh, okay. I remember me and the girls were gonna have this Christmas event situation. And we all decided that we were gonna make drinks together. They were gonna be very festive and whatever. And day of the event, the girls did not have their materials. 2 of us did, 2 of them didn't. So mind you, it's nighttime. I gotta go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. One of the other girls had to drive to work at like 7 a.m. in the morning. And she lived far out, had to drive to work and all of that. And 2 of the other girls didn't have to go to work, Those were the 2 girls that were, number 1, extremely late. We get to our friend's house. They don't have their materials. One of the girls had the nerve to tell us, if y'all are mad about me not having my stuff, why didn't y'all get my stuff? Or tell me when y'all was getting stuff. It was very weird behavior. Mind you, when I got my materials, I hit them up in our group chat like, yo, I got my stuff. I'm super excited. And almost like how Angel was with Giselle, it's like, I can't wait to make this certain drink for you because I know you like such and such. And the response to that was, why didn't you get my stuff or help us get our stuff? We go to the store the night of, 10 o'clock at night, mind you, and me and the other young lady have work the next morning. Just disregard our feelings, no regard to us, it didn't matter. And I was disappointed in my other friend, the one who I'm saying was like with me, because I felt like, okay, all of this stuff is happening. You and I have talked about the fact that, like, damn, this is becoming a bit much as far as us being disregarded. You say a little one too, but at the end of the day, you talking shit about me too, behind my back, and enabling their behavior. And so it's like, yeah, okay, I see you. Not mad at anybody. Even to this day, I'm not mad at anybody. But it's like, that just made me realize your home is your safe space, your energy, your relationship. Don't open that up to miserable people. Don't open that up to people that, oh my gosh, I forgot about this story. I got to tell y'all, and then we going to get back into the Housewives of Potomac. I'm having so many like flashbacks. You see these blinds? So they're like creamish. I didn't even have these yet though. A lot of the stuff in my home is cream. Part of that is because I want to be serene. You go out into the world, it's a lot going on, it's chaotic. I want to come into a peaceful space. I was getting my like cream girl on. I'm adding color now. So that was the thing, was like, eventually I was going to add color, eventually add pictures. This isn't our forever home. Our forever home will be much more colorful. I shouldn't have to explain all of that though. Friend come over here one day out of nowhere, quick shot. Oh yeah, like, cause your home is, cause you're like basic pretty much, cause you like basic stuff. Damn, where the insult come from? Other friend, when we living in the South Loop, oh, this is cute for y'all. This is like talking about the fact that our apartment was smaller. Mind you, I was extremely happy about the apartment, extremely happy to invite them in. And so I'm like, okay, you're jealous. And it's hard for a lot of women to say that because it comes off as like braggadocious or whatever. But it's when people are unprovokingly attacking you, your character, your living space, your relationship, they have no reason. What is the reason? What is the reason? They have no reason to, and they start doing that. In part, there is a part of them that is intimidated by you, or jealous of you, or jealous of something that you have. It may not even be you. It could be something that you have, but they're clearly jealous. Saying that to say, and I know that now, so I'm keeping my space. Saying that to say, that's what's going on with Angel and Giselle, mostly. Ashley too. I feel like Ashley is extremely miserable. She's gone through a divorce. And I just think that she's miserable. Giselle, I'm like, I think she's jealous. I love how Angel clocked on, I believe it was the Way Up interview with Angela Yee. She clocked like, why? Like, Giselle has or should I talk like Giselle has a problem with me. But it'll be all up in my man face. Like, where's Bobby? Where's Bobby? Now let's go back to my friend that had that birthday dinner situation. Her sister, one time my boyfriend hit me up. One time my fiance, when he was my boyfriend, he came up to the apartment and was just kind of like, oh, like such and such sister saw me and said, hey, and like hugged me. And she what? Now the reason why I did that was because I had just seen her months before that. And when I saw her, it was, when I say she treated me like, okay, girl, but you're hugging my man. Now, somebody might say, well, you're being jealous. I don't care. For me, it ain't about jealousy. It's a respect thing. If you don't like me and you don't respect me, don't touch my man. Don't hug my man. Don't even talk to my man. How about that? I don't like that. And that's what the Bobby thing was given. Did y'all see in the last episode when Giselle was like, hey, Bobby. Hey, Bobby. So happy. So like, hey, Bobby. But you would disrespect his wife in a heartbeat. That's weird to me. And I'm like, how are people not seeing this? Like, y'all saying the wrong things are weird. It is weird to not like a woman, to talk about a woman, but be in her man face. That's weird. That's extremely weird. I love Bobby and Angel's connection. I love when he came out in the rain with a coat to get her out of the car. I love like seeing him hold their children and be with the kids. I love I really really like their dynamic. I like when they had that side conversation where she was telling him like they want me to come to their over there to the home and have like a girls' night slumber party situation. I don't want to do that. And he was like, well, shit, don't do it. If you don't want to, that's all that it is. I like when he checked them when they were rushing him and he like, we'll be there when we get there. I feel like he's a little more combative than she is to a certain degree, but still very chill. You could tell he's chill. And I'm like, I love that for her. I love that for him. And those women are miserable. They're jealous. I'm not saying that women that are single or don't have a man are all jealous and miserable, but you see the people that are attacking their relationship is Ashley, who is divorced, is Giselle, who is a beautiful woman but single, and nothing wrong with that either. I'm just saying I feel like part of her is jealous of Angel because she feels like she has what she wants. The house, the husband. Mind you, we don't know Angel and Bobby in real life. We don't know what their relationship dynamic really is like, if it's healthy or whatever, but it's given healthy. And you could tell that she's jealous of that. Even the way that she handled her at the event at her home. I hate what's going on at their house where they don't have water and all of the things. And I do wish Angel was a little bit more meticulous about the detailing when it comes to event planning, especially because she has the Wonderland business that's about to open or whatever. But I loved what she put together at her house when she invited them. The food looked good. She had a violinist. They had like the dinner outside. It was so nice. Did not like the scene with the men sitting there just looking at the women when she introduced them to the ladies. I felt like that was very odd and I don't understand that scene. So Angel, well, what's up with that? That was weird. All in all, I like Angel. I hope that she gets another contract to come back and she's more prepared to like combat and go toe to toe with them, but at the same time keep her peace, or be on some Stacey stuff where it's like, girl, I ain't taking you seriously. Y'all miserable. Like when Giselle was like, how's Theo? What's the guy name? TJ. How's TJ? And she said, I don't know, but I know how Timo is. I said, okay, Asia. Okay, Stacey, you are eating down. I was very disappointed in Monique's comment when they were in the car and she said that she compared her relationship, projected really, her relationship with her ex-husband Chris to Bobby and Angel's, because Angel wanted to check in with Bobby before agreeing to go out with the girls or not. Those are the same type of side conversations that me and my man had. It's like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with her checking in with her man? You know, like y'all are legitimately giving miserable. You see Wendy didn't comment on that stuff because she's a happily married woman going through her own bit of drama right now. And then you see a lot of the women that are married or in relationships aren't necessarily spewing this type of hate. We have to do better with, even if you like somebody, it's okay to critique them. You can like somebody all day long, but if they doing something that is like flawed, value-wise, integrity-wise, character-wise, it's okay to critique them. What I mean by that is, or an example of that would be Portia when she said that she would, you better be quiet or I husband to Angela Oakley. And Angela like, wait, what did you say? The girls down there out there by the pool laughing. It's like, first of all, some of y'all are married. That's not funny. Second of all, we have seen that she do stuff like that. Third of all, like, what? That's never okay. I just think as women, Black women in particular, we gotta do better. We have to do better. If your girl is in a beautiful, healthy relationship and this is someone that you're connected to, more than likely, you're in the neighborhood. That means God has not forgotten about you. You gonna get yours too. But if you jealous, poking fun, talking shit behind their back, just doing all of the negative, spiteful, miserable, hateful things that women sometimes do, how do you expect to get your blessing? How? So yeah, saying all of that to say, all in all, I adore this cast. I think they have a very great cast. I do want to see a little bit more of Kiana and her story. I'm not as interested in her and Greg. But I would like to see more of her and her business. That's what I hope for like next season. We get more into like Kiana's business. Teach us black women something. We trying to make money. We trying to have investments. We're trying to like learn. Knowledge is power. Like teach us something. Don't just have these women on here going in on each other, reading each other down. And it's like at the end of the day, how does that nourish the soul? It's okay to do a quick 1-2, a key here and there. But I personally would like to see more of Angel and Bobby's relationship. Would like to see, obviously we know a lot is about to go down with Wendy and Eddie, but it's like, would like to see more of Wendy and Eddie. I loved when they remodeled their home. It was beautiful. More interior decor. The Colorado home that Angel and Bobby has is beautiful. I love that. Can we see more of that? Can you show us more of their lifestyles, the like authenticity of it all? Versus the cattiness, the meanness, the jealousy, the reads, the misunderstandings, the intentionally wanting to misunderstand. And that's something that I want to say too. If people are gung-ho on misunderstanding you, do not go out of your way to correct them. Once someone has decided that they want to misunderstand you, that they do not want to like you, that there's something about you that triggers whatever insecurity within them, they're not going to like you. So don't go out your way to try to get them to like you. I've learned that the hard way. I've even talked to my therapist about this before. And what she told me was like, sometimes people, you know, there might be something about you that intimidates them. It might be your light. It might be that you're beautiful. It might be you got a bigger booty than them. It might be that, you know, they think your man fine. It could be a plethora of different things. Or like, damn, she don't deserve this or that. Well, how she get that? I don't get that. It could be a plethora of different things. But first of all, number one, that's not your problem. Second of all, if they're using that as an excuse to not authentically connect with you, that's not your concern. Lead them where they are. And that is how I feel about Angel. I do want to see her have another season, but there's also another part of me that is like, I feel like this show is not ready for her. People are saying she's not ready for this show. I don't think this show is ready for her. This show is not ready for an educated black woman with a family that seems to have a healthy dynamic. Beautiful home, starting a business, man got money. Like, it's like the show is not ready for what the show is called. It's called The Real Housewives of Potomac, but it's not ready for a legitimate housewife. That's on her, that got her man. That's an attractive woman. That, you get what I'm saying? And I don't know. I also wanted to keep in mind, because a lot of people have been harsh on Angel, that like, she is a new mother. So while I'm sensitive, and I just explained all of my anecdotes to y'all, my little sensitive at, Angel is a new mom. Her hormones might be all over the place. I don't know this to be true, but from what I know about motherhood, I'm not a mom, but I do know that hormones change and things shift. And I'm like, so why are we being so hard on this woman? When these women are coming at her full throttle, like with no explanation as to why. I will give Ashley a little bit of grace because she gave her that crystal or whatever. But it's like, girl, you miserable. Y'all want to do the catfish and keep reiterating, knowing that like, that's not just no funny shit. Like, that's actually extremely hurtful. And to double down on that, to me, says a lot about you. You're miserable, you're cruel, and you're evil. And Angel was not prepared for it, child. She was not prepared for it in any way. And it showed. And yeah. So yeah, that's that. I'm excited for the reunion. If you're going to tune into the reunion, throw some Potomac-esque cherry blossom flowers in the comments, in the chat. And who is your favorite housewife? All right, y'all. That's the video.